welcome back to Red Dirt Resale. In this video, we're going to talk about how much money do you need to get started in the resale business. A lot of people ask this question. I get messages and in the comments and everything. People ask how much money to start a store, all that kind of stuff. But how much money do you realistically need to get started in the resale business? Well, there's a lot of different answers to that. One answer could be that you literally don't need any money to get started at all. You can have $0, absolutely nothing, and you can get started in the resale business. There's literally zero barrier for entry into the resale business. How is that, you ask? Well, because there's free stuff everywhere that can be flipped and resold. There's tons of stuff that's literally just advertised as free when you look at Facebook Marketplace, or just sometimes just pops up on your regular feed. Garage sale sites and everything. Used to be Craigslist. That is still a thing somewhat. And then just kind of letting people know in general, letting friends and family know, hey, I'm starting in the resale business. I'm looking for stuff to sell. You don't have to say, do you have anything for free? But just let them know, and then you'll be surprised how people will start to call you or be like, hey, I got some stuff that I need to get rid of. I was just going to take it down to Goodwill. I was going to throw it away. Do you want it? And you'll get some really good stuff that way. So you literally don't need any money to get started. Now, when you do that, you're going to be dealing with sometimes, junkier items, less desirable items, but it's stuff that you can flip. You can get stuff literally off Facebook Marketplace for free. People give you for free. Put it right back on Facebook Marketplace, individually marketed with good pictures, and sometimes you can get hundreds of dollars. There's sometimes people don't want to deal with furniture. You're like, hey, you turn it, get it, clean it up, wipe it down, take good pictures of it, flip it for $100, $200. That's not an uncommon thing. That's not out of the realm of possibility to get stuff for free and flip it like that. You can take it to flea market, you can have yard sales, all that kind of stuff. The best, most ideal situation would be to probably have, if you're going to get started in the resale business and be serious and be able to go out and take advantage of different opportunities, good opportunities on bigger ticket items that'll really get you going into like hyperdrive into the resale business, you really need like $5,000 to $10,000. If you have 10,000 plus, like 10 to 20,000, then you're going to be doing really good. But $5,000 to $10,000, that'll put you, if you have that money saved up, that'll put you, where you can buy a lot of stuff. You can buy, you'll have your pick of storage units. You could buy some really nice storage units, some big packed full storage units. You could go to a yard sale and take advantage of a lot of different opportunities, estate sales. You could get into pallets, and there's a lot of pallets that you can buy for, there's a lot of pallets around $1,000 that are really nice pallets that you could buy that would really get you into the resale business. Sorry, there's little bugs flying around me. And really kind of get you going in a hurry. And if you have that kind of money, $5,000 to $10,000, don't just go spend it all at once. But I have all this money. Still be careful and just start kind of getting your feet wet in the resale business, and you'll start to see opportunities pop up. Once you start looking, then you'll just if you're not looking, you don't really even notice. But once you start looking, people get word that you're trying to find stuff to resell. You'll start to see they'll kind of just pop up. So if you have that money ready to go, $5,000 to $10,000, I mean, that'll put you in business definitely for sure. You can buy some necessities. You might be able to buy you a trailer if you need one. You might be able to rent a storage unit, buy you a little small building, or rent a pod to put in your yard or something like that to get started. Now, if you want to start a thrift store, I don't advise anyone to just start a thrift store just right off the bat. You got to get your feet wet. You got to learn a little bit about the resale business. You got to take your lumps. So you really need to go to the flea market, have yard sales, get you a booth or a couple booths at a thrift store or antique mall, whatever the case is. Have yard sales, or just list on Facebook Marketplace and kind of learn the ins and outs, eBay, all that stuff, and deal with some customers. And even if you've sold a few things on eBay, you need to start doing it more consistently and deal with a lot of customers at once or in a short time. You'll really learn a lot, and you got to get past that trial and error stage. You're always going to have trial and error, but you got to get past that initial where you'll learn a lot. If you start really going full time, you'll really learn a lot in a few months. And now, say 6 months to a year, if you're really, you've really got the hang of it, you're flipping really good. You're turning, $100 into $500, $1,000, with ease. but you're just kind of hitting your head on the ceiling of needing that space and everything, then start to look at, you know, a store potentially, or a warehouse. A warehouse is a good place to start. That's where we started. A warehouse just opening up. We opened up on Friday and Saturdays. At the time, we sold a lot of stuff on Craigslist from the warehouse. We sold a lot of stuff on Amazon and some on eBay too, but the warehouse really worked good for us, and, you know, cheap rent. And, you know, the store is kind of the last step if you even want to go in that direction. Now you can do really well with just a warehouse. You can even do really well just at home. Sorry, I'm outside here and the sun's going down, so the bugs are kind of, mosquitoes and everything are really going right now. So the store, you need at least $10,000. That's just liquid money, just money that you can go out and buy merchandise with. You really need more than that, you know, saved up to have, you know, for expenses and, you know, for rent and all that stuff. You're gonna have to have, you know, that all depends on the building that you get, the rent and everything like that, and how much you're going to have to buy initially as far as shelving and all that kind of stuff. But it's probably going to be, you know, at least $10,000, you know, as far as opening expenses and paying your initial rent and all that kind of stuff. But you need, besides all the stuff, getting your power turned on and all that, besides all that, you need on a store, you better have, you know, $10,000 as far as, you know, your inventory money ready to go, some extra money in the bank just for emergencies, and then obviously the money it takes to get your building up and running. And that's going to just vary by location, the size of the building and all that, but you're probably going to be, you know, $10,000, you know, on average to get a, you know, a small to medium-sized thrift store going as far as getting the power turned and all that. $10,000 for your, you know, inventory initial for you can be buying, and then you really need probably $5,000 to $10,000 would be optimal, just kind of emergency money. This is the phase of opening a store. That would be optimal, probably like $30,000 saved up. So people say, well, that's a lot of money, but I mean, there's, you know, it's not really a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, but you really, you know, it should be at that range. Or just have a lot of, you know, already have a lot of inventory that you've been buying because you've been running a warehouse or whatever. Already have a lot of the supplies such as shelving, you know, cash register, counter, all that kind of stuff. When we started doing a store from the warehouse, we had a lot of stuff ready to go. Plus, another thing is, we had built up our customer base. We had a lot of regular customers, because when you first start, you're not gonna have any regular customers. Your mom's gonna come see you, your brother, your friend down the road, but, you know, you need some regular, real customers that are gonna come in all the time and be loyal to you. So that takes time. So you can start with $0 for sure. You can start with $1. You can start with $100. There's a lot of storage units that you can buy for less than $100. You can get a lot of inventory really quick. You know, so that kind of tells you how much money do I need to get started. You don't need any money. You know, you can get started with any amount, $5, $100, whatever the case is. If you're kind of just initially just to get your feet wet started, you really, if you have like $500 to $1,000 to play with, to kind of buy a few things and kind of start playing with, that's probably the best range, $500 to $1,000. And then when you get really serious, if you're wanting to go in it full time, just starting out warehouse, flea market, all that time, you really need like $5,000 to $10,000. So there's a lot of different answers there, but you can start with nothing. You can start with $1. You can start with $100, but it just depends on, you know, what you're wanting to do, what other money you have coming in, how much you have saved. So I know that's a lot of different answers. There's just so many different variables, and everybody's situation is different. But if you're like literally rock bottom, you don't know what to do, you have no money at all saved up, and you think that I just can't do anything, you can start with nothing. There's a lot of storage units, I see them all the time, that get no bids or go for like $10, $20, $30, $40, $50. They have a lot of stuff in them. So, you know, there's just a lot of opportunity, very low barrier to get in the resale business. So there's opportunity out there for everyone. So I encourage you, if you're interested at all and you want to make some extra money, you want to change your life, you want to get out of a job that you hate, then try out the resale business. You can start with nothing. That's it for this video. If you like it, give us that thumbs up, leave a comment. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel for everything about the resale business and all the storage units that we buy and go get. Y'all have a good one.